I think I underordered, Mason says. I clearly need some of that orange cake. Everyone needs some of the orange cake. Steffi smiles, turning to call Skye, the waitress who's hovering by the bar at the end. Skye, can you bring Mason an orange cake? Do you have time to sit? Mason gestures to the chair and Steffi gratefully sinks down into it, relieved to be finally off her feet. Skye comes to the table bringing the cake for Mason, 2 spoons, and a cup of lemon zinger tea, her favorite, for Steffi, who smiles gratefully and squeezes her hand after she sets them down, then shakes her head as Mason tries to foist the second spoon on her. Oh, come on. You have to. I can't eat all this by myself. So eat half and take the rest home for Olivia. He splutters with laughter. Olivia won't eat this. She's allergic to carbs, wheat, and sugar. Oh, and dairy. She is? Seriously allergic? Of course not. But that's what she says now because it's easier than having to explain how she looks that fantastic after 2 kids. I have to say, she's seriously missing out on the fun stuff. Is she ever? Thinks Steffi, who would never dare say anything. Mason and Olivia live with their perfect children, Sienna and Gray, in a perfect apartment on Park Avenue in the East 60s. And not just any building on Park Avenue in the East 60s, but a building that is considered to be one of the top 3 buildings in Manhattan. She only knows the apartment is perfect because a few weeks ago, waiting to see the doctor after a particularly nasty cold that had left her with a wicked sinus infection, dizzy spells and loss of balance were not great while working in a busy kitchen, she picked up a copy of Elle Decor. There, on page 65, was a giant glossy picture of Mason and Olivia, with Sienna and Gray looking adorably cute in their stunning apartment. They were described as a glamorous power couple. He, the highly respected publisher who formed his own imprint 5 years ago, and thanks to 3 huge successes, is now regarded as a serious player in the publishing world. His wife, Olivia, is a Bedale. Yes, from those Bedales, the super-wealthy Southern oil family. Steffi asked a friend who worked in publishing about them, and the money, it seems, the riches that funded their extraordinary apartment, is her family money. While he is now a player, that wouldn't earn him anything like the sort of income that bought this apartment, and the art contained within it. They are not the sort of people that Steffi would usually know. But Mason works around the corner and comes in for lunch a couple of times a week. Olivia met him there for lunch one day, and Steffi was stunned. Though Olivia was charming to her, Steffi had never imagined Mason to be married to someone so perfect. Mason is always a bit of a mess. His hair is never brushed. He often has at least a day's worth of stubble, and his suits never seem to quite fit him, hanging off his lanky frame. There are times when Steffi wants to force-feed him, and although she knew, long before seeing the magazine article, that he was married, never did she expect him to be married to someone who looked like Olivia. Olivia looks frighteningly high maintenance. The day she walked in, on her own, waiting for Mason, Steffi happened to be at the hatch, and she was tempted to run out and tell this woman she was clearly in the wrong place, then redirect her to somewhere like Café Bolude or the Four Seasons. What was she doing at Joni's? A tiny symphony of blonde and white cashmere, her diamonds cast pinpricks of light on the ceiling, a veritable disco ball, as she turned to see if Mason was there. Who was she? Excuse me. Her voice was light and lilting, clearly Southern, and she laid a hand on the waitress's arm with a beaming smile. I am so sorry to bother you when you are this busy, but I think we have a reservation. We don't take reservations, Skye said, but you're welcome to wait in line for a table. Her face fell.